Welcome to the Morning Blitz with John Abraham, Captain Cool, and the Bandiman Bailey Lowery. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Captain Cool.
Hello and welcome in, everybody, to a Monday, just a simple Monday, here in No Man's Land. Welcome to the Morning Blitz on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. John Abraham, Captain Cool, alongside the Bandiman, Bailey Lowery.
Hey.
What's up, Bandy? How you doing, man?
Doing good.
Yeah? I'm just barely, I'm on the brink of something right now.
You're on the brink of something? What are you on the brink on?
So, Bandy, real quick, all right? First off, I wanted to hop in straight into talk about high school football. Obviously, that kicked off the end of NFL preseason. That ended, then obviously week 0 in college football. I cannot wait to talk about all of that wonderful stuff on today's wonderful episode of the Morning Blitz. But 10 minutes prior to the show, okay, I will say I was a little bit later today. I was still on time, of course. I always be finding myself on time, but I made the mistake of having something for breakfast that I've never had in my entire life before. All right,
no.
Bandy, have you ever had a toaster strudel? You're like, yeah, I mean, probably.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a long time, but yeah, I've had a toaster strudel. Why?
Because for the first time in my very short life, okay, I had myself a toaster strudel for breakfast. And let me tell you, you don't know that you're an adult or you're getting old until you start having sweet food in the morning. You can't even have cereal, like a normal cereal, like a Life Cinnamon or maybe Chex Chocolate. Those are personally my favorite.
No, I'm telling you, that's why I stopped bringing in Pop-Tart bites. I got these protein bars now.
Yeah, that sugar, it'll affect you differently in the morning. And let me tell you, that toaster strudel may have been bussin', but I will say it had me fighting for my life prior to coming into this show, and I'm just getting shockwaves from it while we're talking currently, but I think I'll be able to be fine, Bandy. I think I'll be able to be fine. I'm a little heated, more than usual, but, I think I'll be good. I think I'll be able to live. Bandy, what were you up to this weekend?
I'm glad this is how we're starting a Monday. I mean, over the weekend, catching up on different sports. I mean, we had all the high school matchups on Friday.
Of course.
Which were fantastic. I mean, sadly, it didn't end up on the winning end over at SportsMed with me and Drew at Randolph. But I mean, it sounded like Madison Academy just handled business against Deschler away. And then we actually just saw on the local news they're going to be holding a special board meeting for
what happened on Friday.
Yeah, for the events at the Sparkman Hazel Green contest,
which I was at. And let me tell you, I want people to know that don't lump it all into one thing, because let's look at this football team first off. Okay, 31-0 at halftime, boys and girls. All right, we don't want to lump in the things that are going on the side of the field. When you look at this team, they're genuinely a great football team. Okay, going up against Hazel Green, being able to pretty much just pitch the shutout. And let me tell you, if that game did continue on to the second half, it wasn't going to change. I don't think Hazel Green got past the 50-yard line once, okay? Ooh. They got past it once, okay? I think they do have a lot of talent. I think they'll be better against certain teams, but I think
Sparkman's looking strong.
Sparkman's looking strong. Sparkman might be their weakness, because you look back last year and Sparkman was able to put up the most points that they've ever put up in school history, as well as the biggest spread differential they've ever put up in that win, 77-9 back in week 0 last season. So, I mean, Sparkman definitely has Hazel Green's number. I'll say that, okay? But let's not just lump it all together. What happened off of the field as well. Obviously, me and Joe Abraham were on the call, and let me tell you, it was wonderful. It wasn't wonderful when I first got in there. Let me tell you, I was super hot. It was super sticky. I didn't have a fan going, and then I finally was able to get stuff going. The first kickoff return was so great that it kicked us off the air. It definitely didn't get off to a smooth start, Bandy, but for the rest of the time, we saw this team just performing. It was just amazing. We saw the different players just doing different things and just showing the talent, the speed that this squad has, and I gotta say, I loved what I saw, and I can't wait to get out and watch another matchup. A few of the guys that I gotta say that really are looking good for this team. Josh Ward is the quarterback. I've talked about him with the coach Ronnie Watson before, and let me tell you, this kid he's the Josh Allen. He's the Josh Allen of this Sparkman team, where he's a leader, but he's a little robotic, okay? He's a little robotic. He'll do exactly what he needs to do to win some football games, but at the same time, he's very in his ways of the football ways, okay? He's very just zoned in. Another guy that I think is going to be a great football player this season is going to be Amari Jabbar, number 9, the slot wide receiver for that squad. Very speedy wide receiver, was catching balls, was scoring touchdowns. On top of that, you look over at Jonathan Rozier, and that guy had a spectacular night as well. It's just they're full of just talent on the offense, and that's not even talking about the defense, because this defense is absolutely stacked as well, because you got guys like Jeffrey Carter, you guys got like Donovan DeBose, who's a second stringer behind a guy named Jaden Chambers, who's absolutely insane. I call him Jack because that's literally his position on the field. He is jacked. And then Josh Murphy, obviously, Jamarion Matthews, J-Rock Chambers had a few insane hits on players. I mean, it was just a fun night altogether, and it just has me looking forward to everything that Sparkman Senators football has to do this season. But, Bandy, we also got a lot of other things going down. The ACC, back to considering which teams they want to bring in. We also got to figure out which teams that are still going to be left out. The Oregon States, the Washington States, where these teams are going to end up.
Which, I mean, by the way, speaking of Oregon State, they've got their own thing going on. I mean, not Oregon State, Arizona State.
Arizona State now has their own thing going on, and we will get into that a little bit later as well, because, I mean, we look over at what Jim Harbaugh was doing with the Michigan Wolverines, and you see that this team straight up just gave themselves their own imposed suspension for their head coach. 3 games, he's going to be out with all of the cupcake games. And then Arizona State now self-imposing themselves because COVID restrictions as well. They were bringing in recruits. They were talking with them during the COVID dead period, and they thought they crossed the line. There was an investigation going on with the NCAA. And now we look forward to, it's another team giving themselves a self-imposed ban from the bowl game. It's a bowl game ban. So now this team's not even going to get to a bowl game. And you can just tell that these players are just so upset because it's not even something that NCAA went out and did. They didn't do it just yet.
No, you can also tell how reactionary this whole decision is by the coach, just by what the coach said earlier today, because he didn't find out until 6:30 this morning.
Exactly, and I do have the clip pulled up, so we will play.
We got to watch a clip. We did play it earlier on Talking Ball, and it does start with a little raunchy.
Little raunchy? Was there a little bit? Well, is it the same? Is it the same clip?
Probably.
Probably. Okay.
Probably.
Well, we'll go.
I'm ready. I'm ready though.
This is Kenny Dillingham, head coach of ASU football. This is what he had to say about the self-imposed bowl ban.
Control us. I mean, I knew today would be shitty. I mean, they receive horrible news on a Tuesday practice in the morning before we meet for special teams. So to think that 18 and 22-year-olds are going to go out and have a good Tuesday practice is absolutely delusional. But I think the guys battled. The guys did the best they could do.
Was it emotional telling them that?
Oh, yeah. You have a whole bunch of seniors who compete, and they can't compete there anymore.
This was a possibility.
I was informed this morning at 6:30 a.m.
Sheesh.
I met with Ray Anderson and Gene Boyd.
Motivation is a huge part of coaching. Without that carrot to have, where do you go from there?
Just be the very best we can be every day. I mean, what I just told the team is nobody cares about your circumstance. In reality, most people in life would rather see other people fail so they don't have to work hard and actually work hard enough to beat them. So everybody looks at this and like, oh great, Arizona State's not going to be motivated anymore. That's a win. That's how the majority of the world thinks, is nobody wants to work hard to achieve success. They want to bring other people down lower than them, and they can do the exact same work ethic.
I like that.
So people are looking at us, and they're satisfied. They're singing for joy. They're excited because they think there's no way Arizona State football is going to be able to keep their mindset to compete. And that's the challenge is it's us versus us every day.
I like that very much. The message that he had to say afterwards, just about, teams are going to look at us like we don't want to compete. They're still going to compete, but it kind of stinks that in their final season in the Pac-12, as they move to the Big 12 next season, they don't get to compete for a bowl game. They don't get to show out the way they want to show out. They'll still have a fine season. We'll have to wait and see for that. But it is a little upsetting. It's upsetting that the coach learned last second and had to tell his players, and the school had to do it. But I mean, at the same time, Is this going to be the last we hear of a ban that happens for these guys? A suspension? Is this going to be the last one? Or is NCAA going to double down like I was asking for Jim Harbaugh and be like, well, we'll give them another ban? Or will they be like, well, they already suspended themselves from bowl eligibility. We're not going to put a ban on them. I want to know what NCAA is going to do next, okay?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering too.
Because it's going to look terribly. It's going to look horrible if the NCAA doesn't do anything about this and they just let these schools self-impose their own discipline. And that's exactly what we're getting. And I think, a bowl ban, it's fine. It makes sense. But why didn't they just do exactly what Michigan did and just, suspend the coach for the first 3 games? I just don't understand.
Or at the very least, do the bare minimum when it comes to a big decision like this. Yeah. Sleep on it. Yeah. And talk to the people involved that are going to be affected by this.
Yeah, and I think the worst part is it's not even from anybody who's in the organization now. It's from Herm Edwards and the squad that he had there back in 2020. It's
good old Herm.
It's upsetting to see it carry over to Kenny Dinningham as their squad. It goes into the 2023 season. But I wonder if the NCAA is going to do anything about it. I wonder if you guys think the NCAA is going to do about it. 256-576-4
97.7, or even if they should do anything about it.
Yeah, or even if they should do anything about it. I mean, could they have just slipped under the radar and been like, Arizona State's going to just play bowl eligibility. We're going to wait as long as we can until NCAA says something about what's going to go on. But could the act that the NCAA puts on Arizona State be worse than this? I don't know. I don't think so, okay? But you could have just, maybe just held out the coach, held out a few players, I guess, for a few games, and you would have probably been fine with those first few games moving forward in the season. We're also going to hop into some great conversation around the ACC and what teams they're going to be bringing in, as well as what teams kind of need to move on from their dreams of making it to the ACC and decide on whether they want to go to the AAC and make some more money but be in a different geography standpoint, or do they want to go to the Mountain West, make a lot less money, and kind of just compete for bowl games there so they can make the $6 million extra dollars that they would make from going to those bowl games. Yeah. Well, actually, I think it's $4 million for the normal bowl games, $6 million if you make the college football playoff, so we'll see on that. Trey Lance has a new football team, grand, and this means the Cowboys need to cut a player that honestly looks better than Trey Lance in Will Grier. We'll be taking a look at that story as well as going down, talking about Bryce Young as well as Aaron Rodgers as they showed out this week.
They did.
In week 3 of the preseason. We're moving on to NFL. We're moving on to the regular season. Josh Jacobs has himself a contract, and I'm excited to talk about that as well. But I'm a little upset that he didn't do this prior to our draft because I would have probably picked him up, as well as USC got work done in week 0 against San Jose State. There's a few players that I want to look at in that game. But that's all coming up here on the Monday edition of the Morning Blitz here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
You're starting to see more and more of them on the road in Huntsville, Madison, and North Alabama. And we've got them in stock, on the ground, ready for you to test drive. Hi, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and I'm talking about the all-electric Mustang Mach-E. Come experience the torque, exhilaration, and technology of our all-electric 2023 Mach-E, and you'll see why folks are leasing and buying them as fast as we can get them. And that's not to mention you may qualify for a $7,500 tax credit. Woody Anderson Ford is offering financing as low as 2.9% for 60 months, plus $3,000 in bonus cash on the 2023 Mustang Mach-E. Or you can lease one for $449 a month. And we've also got 23 Bronco Sports for $399 a month. These are 36-month leases with $52.71 on Mach-E, $37.09 on Bronco Sport due at signing. Zero security deposit, just tax tag title, and your good credit. These offers end September 4th. Call 539-9441 for complete details. Come on in today. Woody Anderson Ford, hope to see you soon.
Thomas from Talent Heating and Air back in studio with us. And Thomas, those temperatures in the summertime starting to rise once again. You want to make sure you're not left out in the heat. You want some cold AC, give Talent Heating and Air a call.
That's right. If you give us a call, we can generally get out there the same day. So we pride ourselves on same-day service.
And what's that number?
256-503-4490.
And if those AC units are giving you the blues and you've already called someone else, never fear, give Talent Heating and Air a call because you guys can still come out.
That's right. We do free second opinions on major repairs and quotes. A lot of times we save our customers thousands of dollars and additionally get their units repaired before the other guy could even get started.
And that number for Talent Heating and Air is?
256-503-4490.
And if you can't give Talent Heating and Air a call, you can find them online at
talenthvac.com.
Schedule all your appointment service calls there. Talent Heating and Air. Give them a call or find them online today.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Don't let your back or neck pain get in the way. Get back to doing the things you love with the spine and neuro team from Huntsville Hospital. As the most experienced in the area, we have been improving lives in North Alabama for more than 50 years. Whether your favorite fishing hole is on Wilson Lake in the Shoals, Flint Creek, or Lake Gunnersville, Spine and Neuro is nearby to get you back to your best. Visit us online at spineandneuro.com to learn more.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Monday, expect scattered showers and thunderstorms mainly in the afternoon. Otherwise, we'll see a partly cloudy sky. High temperatures are expected to top out in the mid to upper 80s for the afternoon. Heading into your Monday night, a few isolated showers and thunderstorms still going to be possible. Otherwise, we'll sit under a mostly cloudy sky. Low temperatures are expected to fall into the upper 60s, lower 70s for some. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Ben, you gotta remind me to rip this piece of paper that has all of the new music and give it to Chad so we can get in that new music here on the Morning Blitz. Welcome back, everybody. John Abraham, Captain Cool, alongside the Bandiman, Bailey Lowery.
You gotta send me a text. I'm just gonna download the MP3s and send them to him. You just gotta send me that list.
Nah, I'll send you. I'll rip it and give it to you. How about that one? That works. I think you know all the songs that we talked about. Even though I might have sketched down a few names loosely. But I think you'll know exactly which ones I'm talking about because I think a lot of those ones are the ones that you gave me. But either way, welcome back, guys. This show is presented by Fleming Roofing and Restoration, the guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online at FlemingHSV.com to fill out your free quote today. And remember that Fleming always shows up. Guys, it's already getting a little bit rainier. Finally, we see a little bit of rain come down, Bandy. How long has it been? Like 3 weeks? It's been forever.
It's got to be close to that.
It's been like 2.5 to 3 weeks, and we have not seen rain, and now we finally wake up to a little bit this morning. It's very nice to see, but that also means that after the roof of your house has been just constantly cooked, Well, now we got rain falling on it. It might have a few cracks. It might have a few tears. That's why you got to look up Fleming Roofing and Restoration to make sure you guys have a reliable roof atop your head. You can find us online and on Twitter at 97.7 ESPN, on Facebook at 97.7 ESPN The Zone. And let us know if you can find us on Facebook. Because Facebook jail, Mark Zuckerberg has really just put us in there. But I think we've completely stopped the stream on that, so I think we should be good after a little bit. Let's all cross our fingers and hope. And you can also find us on Twitch and YouTube at WZZN TV, so you can see me, the Bandiman, on your small screens, your middle screens, your big size screens, and if you got like a boob tube still, put us on your boob tube.
Yeah, your Amazon tablets, your Stone tablets.
Yeah, your Amazon Fire HDs from 2003 that still work. Those came out in like 2010, but they don't really work. But if they do, that'd be pretty impressive. Bandy, we got some conversations to get into. First thing I want to hop into, the ACC and whether or not they should bring in these 3 new schools. And a lot of people are questioning why they would want to, okay? Well, it's because the expansion needs to continue to happen, okay? There are 4 teams currently left out in the West that aren't really a part of a conference, okay? They're a part of the Pac-12, but again, that's not going to be here next season. Or will it? There's so many questions that could come up and so many things that could happen, but now we need to figure out if the Pac-12 survives, teams are going to need to leave their current conferences, Mountain West teams, I'm talking about the AAC teams, and they have to rely on whatever money they might get from the Pac-12's TV deal, the Apple money, whatever, the $2 million that could extend up to like $50 million. That's what people have said.
Yeah, which they don't even have yet.
Which is not even set in stone yet. And now you can look over and think, oh, well, you know, that's not bad. Because, I mean, some of these Mountain West teams, they're only making $4 million. They should just get out right now and head on over to the Pac. Well, what is making them confident to do that? Okay, why would they do that? Because currently, if they try and get out, all right, they have to kind of just hope that there'll be a conference next season. Because if they do decide to leave, it has to be in a year in advance. Because if they don't, they'll have to pay an extra $30-something million. I think it's $36 million to get out of the conference if they don't give a year in advance. So now you're thinking, well, the Pac-12 is screwed, right? Yeah, it's looking like that.
Yeah, it's kind of looking like that.
Yeah, I don't think any team is going to give up the money that they have currently right now for a hope and a dream to make a little bit more as a Pac-12 school with that $20 million Apple deal, that supposed $20 million and up Apple deal. So now we're looking. And we're thinking, well, these guys are going to stay because they're not going to make the money that some of these other Pac-12 teams are going to make, okay? Because these Mountain West teams, there's less, they're not as in a big area where people are going to be looking, outside of maybe the Boise States, of course. I mean, people love some Boise State. But
hey, people love that blue field, man.
Outside of that, yeah, it really is just the blue field at this point. Outside of that, though, you're looking at these teams and they're thinking, well, at most we'd probably be making $15 million off of these subscriptions. And there's just no chance that we would make up to the $50 million that some of these other teams could have made if they stayed in the conference for a few years. So that's another thing you got to look into. Currently, Oregon State and Washington State need to make a decision if they want to go out east to the AAC or if they want to go down to the Mountain West, which only makes $4 million compared to the AAC's $7 to $8 million per team. Now we're looking at if the AAC wants to add in teams from a different area in the country because they strictly stay to the Mid-Americans, all right? The Mid-Americas, all right? The Cincinnati's, of course, all that whole side of the world, okay, the country. You look over at the Mountain West, and they're like, oh, we'll grab you guys. We'll take you guys in here, all right? Well, I don't want to make $4 million if I'm Oregon State and I'm a top 25 school in the country. Why would I take this offer? Why would I go in? So now we look at the ACC. Would they bring these teams in? There ain't no chance. They want the Stanford. They want the California, which makes sense. It might not bring the most competitive football teams.
And it's going to make traveling an absolute nightmare.
It will also make traveling an absolute nightmare, like we talked about before. I'm pretty sure the closest location to go is like a school. Is it Virginia, I believe? No, it's not Virginia.
No.
It's I forgot exactly which team it would be, but
I mean, heck, West Virginia.
Yeah, I mean it could be, but I mean all I know is it's over 1,000+ miles. Okay, yeah, I know. I had it down like a few weeks ago when we talked about it, but
yeah. Either way, you're not driving there in a day.
No, yeah, you're not driving there. You got to fly there. It's a lot in cost. It's a lot in cost to go back. This is a weekly thing. Teams, it's going to be like the NFL almost, except for these teams are going to be kind of down and out because they're the only ones that are going to need to really travel super far. The other teams might need to stop, go by California once or twice to play these two teams, and then they're kind of done with that side of their schedule. But the ACC right now doesn't even know if they want them. Presidents met. 12 out of 15 need to agree, and currently there's 4 teams, including, possibly Notre Dame. Notre Dame wants all the freaking schools because, Notre Dame wants to look better in whatever conference they're in, which doesn't really exist. It doesn't really matter. But the teams that have held out prior to this all going down are the North Carolinas, the NC States, the Clemsons, and the Florida States because they want all the money.
Yeah.
And they don't think bringing in these schools is going to do any help. It's going to do worse. Even though they're going to take less money, the Stanfords are going to take less money. The Washington or the Californias are going to take less money, and then the SMUs aren't going to take any money. They're just going to use concessions. They're just going to use the concession stands. They're going to be like, we're fine for 7 years, guys. We get enough fans in. We just want to be a part of something a little bit bigger. We don't want to be a part of any of these small conferences anymore. We want to be a part of the five, the Power 5, the Power 4 now. And I don't know. It just more expansion is happening. It's going to happen, and we will hear from a bunch of these other schools as well. And the latest we're going to hear, or the earliest we're probably going to hear all of this stuff go down, is going to be Labor Day, which is very close, very soon. So we're going to hear all of this stuff in the matter of a few weeks. So we don't have to hold our breath for too long. And this means that the expansion cycle of 2023, the crazy world that we're living in when it comes to college football, is going to continue. And the Pac-12 is going to continue to slowly just dissolve into a shell of what used to be.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's sad to see happen. I mean, honestly, though, USC looked pretty good, but at the same time, they were very close with San Jose State. So I say very close. It was 56-28. Not the closest matchup, but still, it's San Jose State. I mean, this is a team now that's going on to a bigger boy conference, and everybody's kind of looking at them. They have the Heisman Trophy, Caleb Williams on it, as well as just the rest of this electric offense. The defense doesn't look good, guys. The defense doesn't look good, at least not against the San Jose State that's got a spectacular quarterback that knows how to run all over the Trojans. And despite the loss from San Jose State, it was still a pretty interesting matchup.
Yeah.
San Jose State had the ball a majority of the time. They were able to get a majority of the yards. And they actually looked like a real football team going up against a real football team. So you love some competition in college football. Same thing happened with Vanderbilt versus Hawaii. Last year was almost like a shutout. This year, it looked like a football game. Bandy, transfer portal's working. Teams are getting more competitive. I'm loving college football, baby. Very nice, very nice. I can't disagree with that.
It's still up in the air. Still up in the air whether or not the transfer portal is working.
Well, currently it's looking like there's more talent on more of these teams that probably shouldn't have the talent that everybody else has.
But at what cost, Captain Cool?
At what cost?
At what cost?
College football looks totally different.
A bunch of transfer credits.
Yeah, a bunch. Well, I wouldn't want to deal with that. I don't know how some of these guys go 3. What was the quarterback's name? JT Daniels.
Yeah.
Golly, 4 different schools in the span of 4 years? Doesn't sound fun to me.
You know, I want to see how he does at Rice.
Yeah,
I'm actually curious.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
I'm gonna try to tune into a game or two.
That's what I'm saying. There you go. Then the transfer portal is working. If you're gonna tune into a Rice football game,
fair enough. You got me.
Because of JT Daniels going over to that team.
Fair enough. You got me on that one.
Golly. Either way, we gotta hop into a break. When we come back, we're going to be hopping into some NFL talk, looking at Bryce Young as well as Aaron Rodgers with his new team over in New York. That's all coming up on the Morning Blitz here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Unlike other credit cards that decline sports betting transactions or treat them as a cash advance, the GBank Visa Signature Card can load directly to your favorite sportsbook apps. G.bank/VSiN.
College football over the weekend. Number 6 USC beat San Jose State 56-28. Number 13 Notre Dame with a huge 42-3 win over Navy. Defending champion Georgia is the favorite to do it again at plus 240, followed by Alabama at plus 600, Ohio State at plus 800, Michigan plus 850, LSU plus 1200. The NFL season set to get underway. Things get going a week from this coming Thursday with the defending Super Bowl champion Chiefs at home against the Lions. Kansas City is a 6.5-point favorite. The Chiefs are the favorite to win the Super Bowl again at plus 600. Get the latest lines and more at vsin.com.
From the University of Alabama, this is Crimson Tide Today. It's daily update on Bama sports, and it's brought to you by Dex Imaging, the official copier and printer provider for Alabama athletics. Hello again, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover. New CTSN football color analyst Tyler Watts joined us last week on Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR, to share his thoughts about joining the broadcast in a new role.
Obviously, this is something that I have kind of aspired to do for a long time since joining the Crimson Tide Sports Network back in 2003, I think it was, when we first started doing the playbacks and the pay-per-view games, and it kind of evolved into radio a couple years later. And had an opportunity to kind of sit in the background and watch a lot of great guys do this. Kenny Stabler, John Parker Wilson last year, Phil Savage before him. So, I'm awfully excited to have the opportunity to do this, and I'm really looking forward to working with y'all again.
I'll have more in a moment.
You know, you hear a lot of coaches talk about class. You're not born with it, nor can you buy it. In a lot of ways, class is how you carry yourself and how you treat others. At Dex Imaging, they treat everybody with class, from their employees to their customers to their business partners. So if you need a copier and printer company that understands class, then give Dex Imaging a call. Dex Imaging, the official copier and printer provider of Alabama athletics.
Join us on Tuesday afternoon for Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. Streaming live on the CTSN Facebook and YouTube pages at 2 p.m. It will be the first of 2 shows this week to get you ready for Alabama football against Middle Tennessee. We'll have a conversation with Crimson Tide center Seth McLaughlin, as well as the voice of the Blue Raiders, Chip Walters. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by Dex Imaging. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Monday, expect scattered showers and thunderstorms mainly in the afternoon. Otherwise, we'll see a partly cloudy sky. High temperatures are expected to top out in the mid to upper 80s for the afternoon. Heading into your Monday night, a few isolated showers and thunderstorms still going to be possible. Otherwise, we'll sit under a mostly cloudy sky. Low temperatures are expected to fall into the upper 60s, lower 70s for some. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Morning Blitz. John Abraham, Captain Cool, alongside the Bandiman, Bailey Lowery.
Hey.
And this segment is brought to you by Flow Trampoline Park. Oh, yeah, I said it. And this one is brought to you by the wonderful people over at Flow Trampoline. Flow Supreme Air. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You guys want to jump and have a great time, head on over to Flow Supreme Air here in Huntsville. They're doing a lot of big stuff over there. You can have a party of 10. You can have a party of 25. You can go over there and just jump for a few hours. It's just a lot of fun. I mean, me and Bandy have experienced it before. Yeah. We were supposed to be working, Bandy. We were just jumping on trampolines. We were done with our work. We
were doing both.
Yeah, we were. And we had a great time doing it. That is Flow Supreme Air. So bring your kids down or just head on over. You can do it at the age of 25. You can still do it. The age of 35, you can do it. 40, you're getting there a little bit. But you still do it, if you're limber enough. Have a great time over there. If you guys want to join in on any of the conversations we had going on, 256-5764
97.7
is the number for you guys to call in. Bandy, I really want to just touch on this San Jose State USC game real quick, because this was one of the more, I'd say the better games Okay, at least one of the more appealing games. You see USC playing football on week 0. Okay, it's way more appealing than Vanderbilt versus Hawaii. I'll say that, okay? It was a good game, I will say. Vanderbilt and Hawaii shouldn't have been. The team's about as prepared as the stadium is ready. So we'll just leave it at that. But USC also not looking as insanely amazing, I will say. Caleb Williams, as just insane as can be. He's elite. He's one of those guys. He's going to make it to the NFL. He's going to be a top pick in the 2024 draft. But the defense right now, I will say, is leaving a little bit to be desired. Caleb Williams was able to do some Houdini acts. He dropped a snap, and then he was able to pick it up and turn around and do a bunch of crazy stuff and then throw it to a open wide receiver for a touchdown. But he went 18 for 25, 278 yards, and 4 touchdown passes. And then there's also, looking at the other team, that this is what I really wanted to look at. Siobhan Cordero, okay? 21 of 38, not the best. 3 touchdowns. 198 yards passing, okay? He also rushed for 52 yards. This kid was actually really good in this game. I think it's something that USC was kind of overlooking. They weren't thinking he was going to be such a ground threat. He's very quick. Total yards, 501 to South California. Of course, they're going to be the team that's going to show out a little bit more, but you overlook what San Jose State's putting together with 396 total yards.
Mm-hmm.
This is This is 2023 college football right here.
Yeah, like they were still putting up numbers on USC. I mean, you look at the final score of 56-28.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like that much of a contest, but when you actually go back and watch and see the numbers that San Jose State was putting up, and just the kind of offense they were able, and the kind of pressure they were able to put on a top 10 program like USC, it's kind of telling of both.
Yeah, and I don't want to look into it too much. It is kind of an overreaction Monday.
It is.
But I will say,
because I do think Utah's better than USC.
There's kind of some proof in the pudding for that one. But you gotta look over, and it's the first real game of the season with a high-powered team going up against a little bit of a lower-powered team, and you kind of see what happens. It's gonna be a little bit closer. There's gonna be a little bit of reason behind this. It's gonna be that NIL stuff. It's gonna be the bringing in of transfers. The recruiting looks a little bit better. It's just these smaller teams are going to slowly start getting better and better, and you can tell by the way that this team was able to perform against USC with 24 first downs to USC's 25. Their third down efficiency wasn't amazing. It was 5 for 13. USC's was 9 for 13. Total plays was almost even. USC putting up 69. San Jose State 66. And then you look down at total time of possession, 30 minutes to San Jose, 29 for USC, which is kind of crazy to think because USC was able to get those quick passes, quick touchdowns, and you kind of love to see it. But I don't know, USC, could they still be a team that goes all the way to the playoffs this season?
I think they got to beat Utah to do it.
There's a few teams they'll have to beat to do it. Let's kind of look over their schedule real quick to just see who they got to go through, just based off of their San Jose State game. It's an overreaction Monday, okay? But they're going to go up against Nevada next. Easy matchup. They should win. Okay, you'd think. San Jose State, similar thing. Stanford is the next opponent. This one they get into the Pac-12 side of things. Mm-hmm. Arizona State. Colorado.
That'll be an interesting one to watch. Because, again, that'll be by the time we really kind of know what Coach Prime's squad is kind of about. What's that about? Week 5?
Yeah, week 5.
Yeah.
The coaches are going to get into full swing of things. Lincoln Riley's going to start feeling his team a little bit more. USC's going to be playing a little bit better, but so is Colorado. So is the rest of the competition, okay? Because you could just say, USC's defense still fresh, coming off season. Yeah. It's not going to be as perfect as we all think it will be, but, you look back a few years ago, and this USC team is able to shut out teams in their first games. It's just a team that looks a little bit more prepared. But this team does bring in some more talent. And one of those talents, I will say, really, really impressed me. Freshman Zachariah Branch. Bandy, did you see this kid perform? Because he was absolutely lights out for this team the other day, I will say.
I saw him perform a little bit.
Okay, he had a touchdown reception, very nice. But he also brought back a touchdown on a kickoff. And this kid, very speedy, very patient. And he was able to just scoop past to do a little bit of Houdini act moves to get past the San Jose State team, and he was able to score a touchdown. So in his first game as a Trojan, this kid was able to really just show his might and kind of just look like the next great to come out of USC if I'm not, over-exaggerating it too much. USC will also need to go up against Arizona, obviously the regular foes, Notre Dame. Then over in, I think, week 7, week 8, they're going to be going up against Utah, which is a top 10 or a top 25 ranked team. California, then Washington, another top 10 team, and then Oregon as well as UCLA to finish off the season. Guys, Pac-12, it's a lot more competitive as we think. It's going to, be a tough season for USC if they're going to have the defense that they had in the San Jose State game, okay?
Yeah, because look, last year, defense was their biggest problem. Like, they had Caleb Williams and the weapons to just really score anytime they wanted to on offense. But when it came to the defensive side of the ball, that was their obvious weakness. But they went up against teams last year where they didn't really have to worry about it that much. In like an Arizona State, a Washington State, regular Cal. Yeah. Well, I say Southern Cal and just Cal.
And regular Cal, yeah.
Colorado before Coach Prime, Fresno State. But now with the Pac-12 schedule this year, you're not taking on those state teams anymore. You're now taking on Arizona. You're taking on top 10 Washington, Oregon instead of Oregon State. This is probably where that defensive weakness is really going to be a lot more prevalent, and it's going to be shown a lot more against these tougher programs.
Yeah, and they played up against Rice last season to start off the season, 66-14, beautiful little matchup right there. But you see the defense kind of folding a little bit more throughout the season. Stanford puts 28 up on them, 17 from Fresno State, 14 from Oregon State in a very close matchup, 25 from Arizona State, 14 from Washington State. It shows you where the cracks are in Pac-12 football, and it comes from the defense, similar to a lot of other conferences. I think the two conferences that have the best defense, ACC, SEC.
Yes.
I don't need to tell you that stuff, okay? The Big Ten comes out with a lot of great products, I will say. J.J. Watt, you see come out of Wisconsin. You see, obviously, the stud that is, Hutchinson, sorry.
That is true.
Aiden Hutchinson from Michigan. They come out with stellar just players for NFL, but altogether, the big bodies just aren't there like they are in the SEC and the ACC, and that's why we obviously see the talent really coming out of those two conferences right there. So that's one thing. I mean, if you bet all on USC, it's just not their time just yet, okay? And I think it's just another sign that their defense is going to be probably about as iffy as last season in 2023.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be seeing another Heisman kind of season out of Caleb. Well, we might, maybe, on the offensive side, but
you could overreact off of that game we just saw just a few days ago.
But what helps back that up though, if your team overall is winning as well, and when it comes to that latter half of the season, I think USC is really going to struggle.
Yeah, I can't doubt you on that one, Bandy. So we'll just have to wait and see. We got a lot of college football coming up. It's going to be great to finally see everybody kind of get into the full swing of things. Obviously, Alabama is going to be starting play on September 2nd, as well as the rest of the SEC, so it's going to be great to see.
Hey, I'll admit, though, as much as we kind of dog the conference a little bit, those games are fun to watch because of a lack of defense.
Yes, I will say.
They are usually pretty dang high scoring.
Yeah, now we need to that's what's fun about the Pac-12 altogether. That's why we're going to miss the nights over in the West, okay? Those games were all so electric because of the big plays that happened.
Yeah, like that slugfest between USC and Utah last year where it ended up 43-42, like that was really fun to watch.
Yeah, but September 2nd, SEC football starts. We're going to see some Pac-12 matchups against teams like the Florida Gators. It's going to be awesome. We're going to get to see a little bit of that, as well as ACC. Florida State going up against LSU to start off, and then the rest of the games, I'm going to be honest, guys, they're not too appealing. Tennessee goes up against Virginia. That's an ACC matchup, as well as South Carolina going up against UNC. So we're going to see those teams compete. But I'm going to tell you, I don't think Tennessee's going to have a hard time with Virginia. And I think that South Carolina is going to be able to handle UNC, because I think that Spencer Rattler is going to be playing the best football he has played of his college career, just so he can maybe make a push for the NFL come 2024. We got to hop into a break. When we come back, we're closing out the show. We're closing out this Monday. Stick with us, because we're talking preseason week 3 here on the Morning Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Do you have discomfort in your legs? Varicose veins can affect not only how your legs look, but how they feel. Symptoms of varicose veins include pain, swelling, aching, heaviness, and fatigue. Dr. Tracy Lowery of Best Vein Care of Huntsville can diagnose and treat your varicose veins with the latest minimally invasive techniques. Diagnosis and treatment is covered by most insurances. Call 256-715-7151 to schedule your free screening. Go to bestveincarehuntsville.com.
The best place to get 50s diner-style homemade delectables is Bubby's Diner. Located at 8412 Whitesburg Drive Southeast, try their all-new expanded breakfast menu with homemade waffles, omelets, and shrimp and grits. With 3 generations of experience, Chris Bubby Belcher has the best burgers in town. Don't forget to leave without a homemade pie or a hand-spun milkshake. Give Bubby's a call today at 256-513-8080. Bubby's Diner, home of the donut burger.
You want the right specialist for your recovery. At SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, we understand every body is different. Your muscles and bones are unique, as is your body. Our SportsMed specialists offer innovative treatments and minimally invasive procedures, allowing you to quickly return to the life you love. Locations in Huntsville, Madison, Athens, and Decatur, and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com. Improving performance, improving lives.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at Alumni Hall. Alumni Hall is the ultimate shopping experience for Alabama and Auburn fans. Located right here in Huntsville, come shop the best selection of officially licensed apparel, hats, Yeti, accessories, and gifts. Whether you're heading to the spring game or shopping graduation gifts or just love to show your school pride daily, come see us at Alumni Hall. University students, faculty, and military receive 10% off in store, and you can earn cash back with our Hall Pass rewards. Alumni Hall, located in Bridge Street Shopping Center, or shop anytime at alumnihall.com.
Are you in the market for a recreational vehicle? Do you want to get out and see more of this beautiful country? Well, imagine hearing the laughter of your little ones enjoying gooey s'mores by a cozy campfire and making lasting memories with your friends and family from the comfort of a new camper. We can make your dreams come true at Hall's RV. With over 15 years in the camping business, we know how to get our customers into the perfect camper. We have several models and floor plans here for you to choose from, both new and used. We're family owned and operated with fantastic deals and great service. Everyone wants to work with people they can trust, so come on down to Hall's RV and get the deal of a lifetime. We'll treat you right and get you on the road in the camper of your dreams. Visit us on Highway 431 in Albertville. Hall's RVs, where we sell fun. Or see us on the web at www.hallsrvsales.com.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
The Huntsville Sports Commission is responsible for bringing high-level sports entertainment to the Rocket City. In 2023, enjoy events like the CCSA Beach Volleyball Championships, Hometown Lenders Championship, UCI Paracycling Road World Cup, and so much more. To learn more about upcoming events and the Huntsville Sports Commission, visit huntsvillesports.com. The Huntsville Sports Commission. We do sports.
Not looking or feeling your best? No energy for the things you like to do? Ready to look and feel younger? Make your appointment at Advanced Life Clinic, one of the region's foremost destinations for patients interested in looking and feeling their best. Specializing in advanced laser treatments and weight loss, male and female rejuvenation to offset the effects of aging, and more. See how Advanced Life Clinic can help you enjoy your life again. Call 256-882-6555 or log on advancedlifeclinic.com.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Monday, expect scattered showers and thunderstorms mainly in the afternoon. Otherwise, we'll see a partly cloudy sky. High temperatures are expected to top out in the mid to upper 80s for the afternoon. Heading into your Monday night, a few isolated showers and thunderstorms still going to be possible. Otherwise, we'll sit under a mostly cloudy sky. Low temperatures are expected to fall into the upper 60s, lower 70s for some. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Everything you need is just a click away.
I should come up sometime, see me.
Okay, almost everything.
Come up, I'll tell you a fortune.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. 977 ESPN, The Zone.
Back, everybody. Johnny Ram, Cam Cool, alongside the Bandiman, Bailey Lowery on this Monday here in No Man's Land. You guys can join in on the conversation. 256-5764
97.7
is the number to call in. And let's just talk real quick about Bryce Young, Aaron Rodgers. These guys able to get their first touchdowns of the new season. Bryce Young took him a little bit longer, but he was able to finally connect with Adam Thielen in the end zone for his first NFL touchdown ever. And then Aaron Rodgers saw the field against the Giants and was able to connect with Garrett Wilson, my wide receiver, for a touchdown in his matchup where he went 5 for 8. It looked very quick for his age, I will say. Bryce Young looked a little bit more calm, collected, looked a little bit more like the Alabama Bryce Young we know and love. The Cowboys also had a good little outing. Will Greer threw a pretty good matchup. 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. I believe it was, how much? It was like 305 yards from this guy. 2 rushing touchdowns and 2 touchdown passes. So a good little showing from him, as he's probably going to be cut soon because of the acquirement of Trey Lance to that team. And now, real quick, just to finish off, I wanted to kind of give you guys just a first-hand experience of what I was seeing over at that Sparkman game, okay? So, me and the Joe, we were talking. We were just having the halftime show. We were about to come back. We see the Sparkman players come out. I'm thinking, what's going on, all right? We're taking already super long. The game had to get pushed back to 8 o'clock. It's hot. It's sticky. It's just like, refs were slowing down the game. Obviously, it's week 0 for them as well as the players. And then halftime comes, Sparkman comes out. They go to midfield. We get an announcement that students to stay seated in their seats. And then a little bit more goes on. Time passes. We're asking questions. Everybody's asking questions. We don't know what's going on. We hear a few things about possible weapon on the premises. That was not the truth. There was a meeting planned a week prior, it seems, for something to go down between these two teams. And as you guys know, Hazel Green, Sparkman, huge rivalry. These teams have met the most in their school's history, so there's going to be a little bit behind it. Even though it doesn't show on the field, it will still show within the students outside, and that is exactly what happened just on Friday. And the game did have to get cut short in halftime. 31-0, Sparkman wins. Thankfully, nothing exactly happened, but there was just a warning that it was going to go down, and that's why everything kind of happened the way it did. Fans were told to leave the stands. Me and Joe stayed as long as we could until we were literally told to leave the premises, and you can definitely hear it on the recording that we have online from that game. Either way, crazy, okay? First game ever doing color commentary for football. Joey's 100th and something game. I don't exactly know. He's done so many. It was the first time for both of us. And I got to say, crazy start to the 2023 season. And again, let's just make sure we focus on how this team is actually looking on the field and try and maybe separate the outside activity as well. Because again, this team is looking great, and Ronnie Watson is putting together something special over there in Harvest, Alabama, and I can't wait. I'm very excited, Bandy.
Yeah, no, I was actually able to tune in for a little bit after the Randolph game, and we were able to start at 7 o'clock. But y'all sounded good.
Thank you.
You had that. I mean, obviously familial chemistry.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it really is. I mean, it was a little back and forth.
So everything just flowed so naturally. So I mean, y'all were great.
I appreciate it. Bandy, what happened over in the Randolph game? Just kind of talk about what you liked about it before we get out of here.
Well, for one, I did end up West Morgan coming out on top. Yeah, they were a very good team. Like, very explosive, very fast paced. I mean, Coach Drew Phillips really has that team down to a science. But the Randolph team still did look good. Like, there were still flashes of explosiveness from this offense. Yeah. We were able to get their offense started and get something moving. But it was the penalties that just kept dragging back. It's like, all right, Randolph would get a big run for about maybe 30 yards. We'll finally get some position back in a first down. Mm-hmm. Holding on the offense, coming right back, and we got to do it all over again. And that would just end up in either a punting situation or just a really long fourth down situation, which you never want to deal with.
No, you definitely don't. But you guys can catch all of the high school action on this station, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone, Sparkman, Randolph, Madison Academy, Buckhorn, the game of the week, all here, whether on Zone 1 or Zone 5. It's going to be for you guys to get on our app, as well as online at 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. For me and the Bandiman, we're going to call it quits for today, but in 22 hours, we will be sitting right here telling you guys all of the sports stories you need to know in football and more here on The Morning Blitz.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time?